Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Smackdown review of us, the dynamic dudes. Mr. Parkin and MJ, the British Fist.
What's up, good chin?
nice combination there, MJ. They're like Mortal Kombat fatality, brother. Subscribe above, like this video, and comment your thoughts on this edition of WWE Smackdown down in that comment section below, down there.
And make sure you contact us and then in complete box below.
Yes, explain to the YouTubers why you're wearing that t-shirt, why that lovely shirt, MJ.
Well, there's two things I want to say. Number one, I'm going out after this gig for a good time, you know, gigging and stuff. The other thing is, I would be wearing a t-shirt, you know, because I just thought, as I'm going out, there's no point, but I'm going to be supporting the big red monster, Kane.
We all know you'd be supporting Kane, brother. I mean, if I had my Washington Wizards jersey, I'd so gladly show it off here, but I think that era has kind of ended now. Enough of the Washington Wizards jersey. It was getting quite smelly, and, you know, I thought I'd stick it in the wash, and it might take a good week or so before that comes back. But, yeah, we'll move on to this Smackdown. First thing we wanted to say before we go into this Smackdown is we heard the sad news this week that Karma, a.k.a. Kia Stevens, you know, we wish her a lot of condolences on her miscarriage. We know it's probably it's going to be very hard to lose a child, especially when it's in the womb.
And it's really hard for Karma to come back and act so strong, for her to be a part of the Royal Rumble, with that still on her mind and involved in her wrestling. It's really sad, and we understand it's going to delay her WrestleMania moment, but it's still really sad. And
of course, you know, she told friends that she did have the baby because she was very, you know, obviously insecure about the whole thing, and who can really blame her? It's just very sad news, and, you know, here at the British Fist, we'll send our condolences out to Karma, aka Kia Stevens. So, you know, that's just our message there. We start this Smackdown though. Was kind of revolved around this whole Johnny Ace Teddy Long thing, wasn't it? We had the Johnny Ace video package at the beginning, but before we get into this Smackdown, we had the problem with the show, in my opinion. This is my opinion. I think you may agree with me on this, as we were talking about this off camera. The main three feuds were in the main event. So, apart from the Long and Johnny Ace stuff, everything else just seemed like filler, didn't it? And really not much to do with Mania at all. Would you not agree?
There was parts of this SmackDown that could lead to something at WrestleMania, because we're going to get more matches. There's a match that would possibly lead to WrestleMania, but nothing announced yet. So yes, it did feel much like better.
We opened up with Otunga and John Laurinaitis in the ring with the cage descending, and I was thinking, God's sake, you know, let's trap Johnny Ace. Get out of there! Get out of there! Get out of the cage! Just let them trap Otunga in that cage. But they were talking about, you know, they introduced John Laurinaitis and the fact he was going to be the GM of Smackdown and that he was going to be better than Teddy Long. Yada yada whatever. And you have Santino and Swagger in a cage match for the US Championship, and we kind of thought this might happen, especially after what happened on Raw. Santino winning the championship was a good thing in my opinion, and I think you'll agree with me on that one. But again, a nice way to start off SmackDown with a cage match with a US Championship on the line, something which you don't usually see on TV.
Well, for Laurinaitis' segment on Raw, his plan backfired and Santino got the championship. So I like how they opened SmackDown. This is Laurinaitis hopefully going to get his revenge back on Theodore Long and let Swagger get the championship back.
The match was pretty good. I mean, it's a good way to start your shot because you know the fans are going to be well behind Santino, so you're going to get the crowd going right away. The match went about 7.5 minutes. It wasn't actually a bad match, in my opinion. Vicky accidentally hit Swagger with the cage door, and I'm sitting there thinking, thank God Santino retained, because I think Santino could be a much better champion just because he's way more over and gets way more TV time than Jack Swagger, which is why I definitely wanted him to retain, even though this US Championship would be part of that Long Laurinaitis feud.
Well, I look at this and think the whole escape through the door thing, absolutely rubbish. So that whole segment at the end, it was stupid. And yes, I'm glad Santino won. I'm really pleased with that. But the whole door thing really let the match down, let the ending down. I say that to all cage matches. But Vicky's scream as Santino escaped, like, ah! It really had an effect, that final moment. And I just thought, okay, that makes up for it.
And then Teddy Long and Santino embrace in a hug because they love this match. They love the fact that Santino is winning this and Teddy Long is getting one up on John Laurinaitis. I will say this though, John Laurinaitis was in the ring, but where was he throughout the segment? That was just one thing that crossed my mind. Not that I care.
It slipped away, and again, Santino's retained the championship.
Yes, and then after this we get a backstage segment where John Laurinaitis books himself in a match with Teddy Long, and if Teddy Long wins, Aksana gets out of our match with Kane. Now, you have some problems with this, but I do understand what they're doing. Explain your little side, and I'll explain why I think this is a good thing.
Don't do this, Laurinaitis. Say please. Say sorry, I apologise. And all that, just get into this match. Again, yes, we're glad it went at WrestleMania, but the fact that he had all this thing going on, seeing them two in a wrestling match, building up to something that no one really wants to see. I just thought, oh my gosh, you could have done this another way. You could have maybe had Otunga in a match to determine this, not the two GMs wrestling. And I just thought, no, please.
And the worst thing is that was the our main event. But in my opinion, you got John Laurinaitis saying that Teddy Long has to lay down and get the victory in order for something that he doesn't want to happen to not happen. So it was a good concept. It's just that the execution wasn't exactly great. But we'll move on to the next segment where we had Drew McIntyre getting some promo time. When was the last time we saw Drew McIntyre get some mic time before a match? Bloody hell, that was awesome. He comes out talking about getting fired by Teddy Long, talking up John Laurinaitis, saying that he's given him an opportunity to get his job back. Thank you, John Laurinaitis. This is why I'm on your team, brother. And then out comes Khali, and we're thinking, oh, God. And then Otunga comes out and introduces Hornswoggle, and we get Drew McIntyre versus Hornswoggle, and you can guess the rest.
What I'm going to say about this match is during the match, I was thinking Khali was told to sit at ringside. I was thinking he's going to screw Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre's going to lose. He's not going to get his second job back. But instead of that, Khali sat at the ring, and he ended up beating Hornswoggle. Not with the first count, not with the second. I think it was the third one. He actually got the win.
If I hadn't read the spoilers, I honestly would have thought Hornswoggle was winning this match. But I'm so glad that McIntyre has got his job back. And yeah, we have Khali decking McIntyre after the match. The match itself wasn't very good, but they got McIntyre his job back. Thank you. Thank you.
But now my point about this is, as much as I like Drew McIntyre, just because he's got his job back, how we meant to suddenly believe his career is matches are just going to change like that. Yeah. I still think he may continue his losing streak, but not going to go anywhere.
Stronger booking, I'd imagine.
Hopefully, but all of a sudden it's going to suddenly happen. Not buying it, but I'm glad Drew McIntyre's back.
Mark Henry has been inducted into the International Sports Hall of Fame, and I think as a little reward for this, WWE said, we'll give you another big guy to go out there and beat in 1.5 minutes, and that's exactly what they did by giving Mark Henry Ezekiel Jackson 1.5 minutes. Henry wins. Ezekiel, to me, just isn't a believable jobber. He's one of those guys, you can't really make him job because he's so big. You know what I mean? He's got so much muscles and stuff that he's not the kind of guy you should be beating in 1.5 minutes, even if you are Mark Henry, in my opinion.
Well, 2 points I want to make about this is that they gave him Mark Henry a blue attire instead of his black attire, which would make him with the heel look. So I thought, oh, he's going back to be a nice paper look. But the match itself, yes, Zeke's not our favourite wrestler, but the look about him, the way he was in ECW, then in Core, yeah. I thought they were going to maybe make him a bigger thing than what he is, but he just got squashed by Mark Henry.
The guy just has no personality and has nothing on the mic. But I mean, I'm glad Mark Henry won. It just seemed like filler. Again, and it just seemed like WWE were trying to sort of give Mark Henry a little present for being inducted into the Hall of Fame and into the International Sports Hall of Fame, and that was it, to me. But at least they acknowledged it, which was nice of WWE to do as well, I thought.
Yeah, it was a good thing for Mark Henry, because obviously, as with this rumours about him leaving,
yes.
So the big things like this would be really good for him to leave with.
And it shows that he may have something outside of wrestling to go to even if he does retire, so there we go. Just hope it isn't acting, I'll just say that right now. We had, in our main event, the match that we were wishing we would never see at WrestleMania. Instead, we got it on free TV, so I guess we can kind of consider ourselves a bit lucky there. Until we watched the match, of course. It was Johnny Ace with David Otunga versus Teddy Long with Aksana. The segment, the whole thing being, if Teddy Long loses or if Johnny Ace wins, then Aksana won't be in a match with Kane. This is just a long promo segment with a roll-up, wasn't it? Essentially.
Yeah, the whole mic thing, trying to get him on the mic, him to look like a big character, Laurinaitis saying all this, and then Teddy Long doing the right thing, saying no, and actually standing up to Laurinaitis.
Yeah, I mean, it did help the feud along a little bit. It's just that we didn't really want to see these two in the wrestling ring. How bad did John Laurinaitis look in that gear? Did you think that was WWE ribbing Laurinaitis a little bit?
Well, most people that shouldn't wrestle do wear stupid gear.
Yeah,
Michael Cole,
just saying.
Michael Cole's stupid gear, Laurinaitis. So it's people that shouldn't wrestle wear stupid gear. So that's telling that no, they should not be there.
That's right, guys. Mr. Parkin and John Laurinaitis both have man boobs, which is why I'm on the team Laurinaitis. I'm just saying. NJ has none, therefore he's on Team Teddy Long, brother, and he has a shirt as well, which kind of gives him the advantage over me, and dashing good looks as well. Then Kane comes out, and we're thinking, oh my god, what's going to happen? And then Awesome comes out and RKO's Kane. Long gets the roll-up victory. Wow, okay. It's kind of reminded me of that marriage segment we got on TNA, but this was obviously better because there wasn't any of that bullshit that we saw in that segment.
Yeah, this was better than TNA stuff. The thing we say about this is that they're combining Kane in with this feud, the temporary thing. It was stupid. Laurinaitis got annoyed with Orton. It's not going to lead to anything, but it's just stupid. But I'm glad that Teddy Long got the win over Laurinaitis.
Fuck Teddy Long. John Laurinaitis is the future GM of the Raw and Smackdown. But I'll say this. Are they going to make Orton and Kane as part of this whole GM thing, or are they going to make the separate match? This kind of made me feel they may introduce it into it, but are they just trying to combine it for storyline purpose?
Yes,
okay, then yeah, we'll move on then from that hour main event. I don't know why it was the hour main event. Kofi and Truth versus Epico and Primo. I thought it was kind of funny. Before the match, we had Booker T doing a John Laurinaitis impression with a Laurinaitis mask. That was the most entertaining part of the night in my opinion. You had Booker T going, and then throughout the match, I couldn't understand a word he was saying.
The commentators on either side, Michael Cole, I think, is leaning towards Laurinaitis, and Booker T is leaning towards Teddy Long. But the match itself, yes, this is a possible match we could be seeing at WrestleMania, just because the tag title and they've not really got much of them opponents.
Yeah.
A tease here, but still.
Are we seeing R-Truth or are we seeing K-Quick? Judging by what we're seeing there, it kind of looks like they're giving him his old K-Quick gimmick, doesn't it? But basically, it was a 5-minute tag match. You got some decent action. Truthy and Kofi win a decent tag match, and I just wonder if this is setting up a tag match. And little Jimmy, just go. You're not in this review, little Jimmy. Just go. And you know, I just wonder what they're setting. Go. I just wonder what they're trying to set up for Mania. Are they going to set up a tag title match? Because I don't think they will.
There's going to be more matches added to the card. We've just got to wait and see what gets announced. But this match is a possibility. But the fact we've got a winner now over the tag champs, maybe it won't happen.
Sorry, I was distracted by Jimmy.
Right.
We had a Rock and Cena recap. Woohoo! Let's just move on. We watched Raw, by the way. A Michael Cole exclusive with Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. This whole thing seemed to revolve around luck, didn't it? The look of the Irish and the look of the Bryan. And basically, we have Daniel Bryan coming out saying, you know, when you're good, you don't need luck. And he's got pure knowledge of scientific wrestling. I bet the ROH bots who love Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards and Roderick Strong in that main event scene were jizzing themselves when they heard that term scientific wrestling in a WWE promo segment, weren't they?
And as you can see, we've combined WWE, TNA, and ROH in one review.
We're good, aren't we? We're good. We need to try and think of some other things to include in this. Maybe some Shimmer. AJ could be a good Shimmer world champion. I'm just saying. Maybe, you know, we could send Hornswoggle to PWG. I don't know. Maybe even...
Big Show to Sumo.
Oh, that would be... no, we saw that at WrestleMania 24. We're not having that. But basically, we're going off the point here. Sorry, guys. Kind of shows you what this segment was like. But you had Sheamus saying that he was lucky to be standing in front of the people. He made his own look, fought his way back to the top, and that Bryan should be wearing the skirt. And I'm sitting there thinking, I should be wearing AJ's love.
Shut up, AJ.
No, you don't tell AJ to shut up. If AJ was with me, I would respect her views. I would actually tell her that I love her to her face. And I wouldn't be hiding behind her like some wuss. I'll be protecting my girl. I'm just saying, Daniel Bryan, you wuss of a man. You're not deserving of her love.
For Daniel Bryan fans, this is just the way Sheamus was speaking. Again, it needed to be said eventually. Like every big segment like this, someone needs to say so that all the fans, or most fans, are wanting to say to the person.
Exactly. And he basically says that Daniel Bryan, you know, method of WrestleMania, your luck will run out. And I thought it was a good segment, even though it surrounded luck, which is kind of weird. Luck of the Irish, I guess. But I mean, it was a good segment in the sense that you got them both interacting, and Sheamus's words were pretty strong in my opinion. I do want him to win at WrestleMania. I do think he needs that win at WrestleMania, in my opinion.
When it comes to this, we'll leave it to our WrestleMania predictions. But this was, yes, Daniel Bryan brought up the whole vegan thing to my attention quickly went. So I'm kind of glad they passed it over to Sheamus.
Michael Cole is thinking of converting to vegan. I never thought I'd hear the day that happened. But anyway. This flowed on quite nicely into our main event because you had Cody Rhodes coming out, and we had the announcement earlier that it would be a 6-man tag match. Cody Rhodes, Daniel Bryan, Miz versus Big Show, Sheamus and Randy Orton. This really needed to be good if it was going to save a somewhat dire show, in my opinion. I mean, the match wasn't bad. It was decent. You had some good action in there, and you kind of get the feeling that Miz, they were playing off this whole Miz being on this bad streak, and Miz was kind of like the face's beating bag in this match, wasn't he? He's not getting a WrestleMania match, so he's not getting any offense in this match, is he, brother?
No, for the majority of the match, the faces did get the upper hand. They switched near the end when they had like Cody Rhodes getting tagged in and bringing that in. Yeah. It went all to the side, so it can be a fair match, but obviously it was going to lead down to, as we compare the feuds up, there's an odd one there, so we all know what was going to eventually happen.
Oh, you're talking about Rhodes and Show, right? No, Sheamus and Bryan. No. Orton and Bryan? No, who are you talking about here, AJ?
Orton and Miz. What the hell was Miz doing there?
How the fuck did... Miz was just there to eat the pin, wasn't he? We all knew that. I mean, you had Rhodes and Big Show running off to kind of escalate their feud. You had Orton getting the RKO victory. I mean, they hyped up all three feuds quite well in this match, in my opinion. Like I said, Orton gets the RKO win on Miz, and then all of a sudden, Mr. Red Monster himself, the NJ markout moment of the night, when Kane comes out, and they end up brawling in the crowd. And I was really liking this brawl, but it just kind of ended like in the crowd, and I was thinking, well, I'd really like to maybe some conclusions to this brawl, like maybe Kane knocking him out. But the finish to the match, as you were saying to me earlier on, was they were going to go back to the ring, and then Kane was going to choke Orton into an RKO. So I'm glad that got edited out, because I was just saying I would have been pissed off. Two RKOs in one night on the big red machine would have been a bit stupid.
And when it comes to WrestleMania, we're all going to have a prediction that Orton's going to get the upper hand. So the build up to it, it should be Kane's monster gimmick taking over Orton and then bring it down. So I'm kind of glad they cut it before we got to see Orton get the upper hand again.
Especially if you want the fans to get more behind Randy Orton and get him a win at WrestleMania, which the fans are going to enjoy. I know you're not going to like it, NJ, but Orton is a bigger star than Kane, so you've got to understand why Orton needs that victory more, even if I don't think he deserves it.
Okay, well, people, this SmackDown has not been the best, but it's gave us something towards the pay-per-view in some segments, but overall it just weren't that enjoyable.
To be honest with you, I think the problem with this show is it wasn't very layered. You had either all the feuds in one segment or filler, and I think when the show has, a couple of like 3 or 4 feuds being featured throughout the show, you could open up with, the Cody Rhodes Big Show, our main event, Randy Orton Kane, main event, something to do with Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. I think it would be a bit better of a layered show and a more enjoyable show if they did that. But they seem to put everything in the main event, and everything else just seemed like filler, apart from the Laurinaitis Teddy Long stuff. And that segment wasn't good.
No, it wouldn't have been a Mania feud, but poor Teddy Biats got injured again, so his feud with Hunico just gone out the window again.
Xavier Woods beat him in a dark match. My boy from FCW getting some dark match time, baby.
But I thought I'd throw it in. He's not gonna, even if he was, he wouldn't have made it to WrestleMania. But I just thought I'd throw it in there because poor Teddy Biats again. Yeah. But anyway, people, thank you very much for watching another SmackDown review with Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. Share your thoughts on the good, the bad, and the ugly in the comment section below. Until next time, people. Goodbye.